Sub-Council. We have also Ms. He Rong, the Deputy Director of Division of Trade, Promotion of the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, Xinjiang Province. Of course, we have very distinguished and eminent representatives of the Chinese people here this afternoon. In the course of this program, we shall meet all of them. Mr. President, I find it very, very uncomfortable, but really, we must accord the program the respect it deserves. I'm proud to present to you, sir, a former president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, former Minister of Trade and Industry in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a very dynamic, distinguished woman of essence in the Nigerian public, Chief Mrs. Nike Akonde, CON, who is the keynote speaker this afternoon. She's a two-time former Minister of Industry and past President of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as I said, and Group Chairman, Imagine Africa Capital Group. Please put your hands together for the Lady of Quintessential Essence. Your Excellency, ma, we are the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We are tethered by one historical perspective that makes us the biggest, the best, the finest trade and commerce industry in the whole continent of Africa. We have a 135-year checkered history behind us, unbroken. When I was growing up, there was Kaduna International Trade Fair. There was Enugu International Trade Fair. I don't know what has happened to those two, but I know, I've always known, we have always known, right from our youth, the Lagos International Trade Fair. This is the 37th unbroken edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair. And we have men and women who are leading us. The Primus Inter Pares, the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is also a very astute Nigerian, commander of the Order of the Niger, two-time commissioner in Lagos State, a man of many parts, is an insurance broker, is a financier, is into many things. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ashwadi Dr. Michael Olawale Ko, CON. Is ably supported this afternoon by a Vice President of the Council, who is also the Chairman of the Trade Promotion Board, saddled with the responsibility of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, Dr. Leye, Engineer Leye Kupolui. Don't worry, the doctorate is coming. It might be from China, I don't know, but the doctorate is coming very soon. We also have present with us our indefatigable, very effective and efficient, but very shy. She doesn't even like public acknowledgement at all. Our very dynamic Director General, a woman like a man, a woman of quintessential essence, a paragon of beauty, and of course, a bastion of knowledge. Our Director General is Dr. Mrs. Is the Mrs. necessary? Dr. Tinyere Almona, FCA. We also have with us here this afternoon an honorary life vice president, man who has given his dues, paid his dues in the industry, Dr. Remi Alo, who is here with us. With that as is may, we don't want to waste so much time because this is a symposium. We're just into the ceremonial part of it. I'd like to invite the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the person of Ashwaji Dr. Michael Olawale Ko, CON, to give us the formal welcome address.
I would like to welcome to this very important occasion the Consular General of the People's Republic of China. My sister, you are welcome. Can you please welcome her, please? Thank you. We have other officers who are here present from the Chinese Republic. Let me acknowledge our past president, who is here present in her own right as one of us, and also as a role player at this event today, Olori Onikepok Akonde, CON. Thank you, ma'am. I acknowledge the chair of the Promotion Board and our Vice President, Engineer Layekupolui. You acknowledge, sir. Thank you. Let me acknowledge all of us together, just to save some time. Director General, you acknowledge. Dr. Alo, you acknowledge. All of you acknowledge all of you here present, or just to save some time. Thank you. Please clap for everybody here, please. Thank you. I want to welcome you all to the United Asia International Exhibition Group Special Day, holding here at this 37th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair. May I, on behalf of Council, Trade Promotion Board, and the entire membership of the foremost Chamber of Commerce in West Africa, SCCI, appreciate your presence here at this event. Our generic theme for the annual fair is connecting businesses, creating value. This theme underscores the importance of relationships, investment, and wealth creation. Very important, it suggests the need for businesses to be well positioned to leverage the opportunities presented in the environment, especially in the context of emerging opportunities and ideas. SCCI, like you must have known, was founded in the year 1888. This year, we have been celebrating our 135th anniversary of the Chamber. And next month, by God's grace, we'll be having the closing ceremony for this year's celebration. This trade fair here today is the 37th edition, and it has grown over the years to be the largest and the most important trade fair and exhibition in West Africa. The Lagos Trade Fair has been a symbol of growth, a symbol of progress, and a symbol of opportunity in the business world for many years. And it will continue to be for the foreseeable future. It is a veritable platform where entrepreneurs, innovators, and business leaders worldwide converge to foster collaboration, discuss industry trends, and showcase their products and services. Today, the UAEC Special Day, the Chamber takes immense pride in UAEC being an integral part of this gathering of business from every corner of the globe. And I would like to thank the management of UAEC, United Asia International Exhibition Group. They're not a stranger to connecting businesses and creating value in Nigeria. For years, they have been at the forefront of bridging the gap between industries, promoting cross-cultural trade, and unlocking countless opportunities for businesses across the globe. The fair mission is to provide a platform where entrepreneurs and businesses can thrive, learn from one another, and foster enduring relationships that transcend borders and also boundaries. Today, we are facing an extremely challenging business environment where inflation is being driven by a range of shocks. Nigeria's annual inflation rate continues to accelerate to reach an over 18-year high of 26.7% in September this year, up from the 25.8%, mainly attributed to second-round effects of the removal of petrol subsidy and the devaluation of the naira against the greenback on both the official and the parallel markets. Prices of goods jumped to 30.6% in September, the highest since August 2005. From 29.3 it was in the prior month. Also linked to these security issues in food processing regions. Price pressures are evident in more and more economic sectors, in part owing largely to the impact of high energy costs feeding through the whole economy. Under the theme, Connecting Businesses, Creating Value, the Chamber not only celebrates the remarkable accomplishments of UAEC, but also emphasizes the fundamental principles that have guided their operations today. We gather to highlight the critical role of collaboration in business, the power of innovation in driving business growth, and the immense value that emerges from connecting diverse communities. As we look around this opportunity exposing exhibition, we see businesses of all sizes and from all areas of life and sectors working together to build a prosperous future. We witness groundbreaking innovations, products, and services that hold the promise of transforming industries and improving lives of our people. This is a testament to the value of connectivity and collaboration in today's global business landscape. Throughout the course of this special day, we will have the privilege of witnessing exciting presentations, engaging discussions, and networking opportunities that will undoubtedly create value for all the participants. We encourage you all to seize the opportunity and this moment to connect with fellow entrepreneurs who are here present and others in the arena. Also industry experts and thought leaders, as these interconnections will lay the foundation for future business successes. On a closing note, I'm very happy to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the exhibitors, all the sponsors and participants, and our guests for being a part of this very important Lagos International Trade Fair and the UAEC Special Day event. Together, we will forge stronger connections. Together, we will unlock opportunities. Together, we'll create value that will resonate not just within our respective businesses, but also across the borders of our continent, Africa, and in fact, beyond Africa. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be exposed to the potentials that are available in the UAEC. But before then, let me respectfully invite Her Excellency to formally present her opening address as we are set for the special event of the day. Ms. Yan Yuqing, Consul General of the People's Republic of China in Lagos.
Thank you. Distinguished Deputy DG of Representative Office in South Africa of CCPIT, Mr. Liu Yan. Distinguished Secretary General of CCPIT, Henan Sub-Council, Mr. Kong Jingming. Distinguished Deputy Director of Division of CCPIT, Zhejiang Province, Madame He Rongrong. And distinguished Madame Zhao Xinlei, Wang Anqi from CCPIT, and Mr. President of United Asia International Exhibition Group, Mr. Ni Liqun, and the Vice President, Madame Wang Qian. Mrs. Nikki Akandi, former Minister of Industry and former President of LCCI. Mr. Olosola Obadimu, Director General of the Nigeria Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. Dr. Michael Olavali Goli, President, LCCI. Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, Deputy President of LCCI. Mr. Leia Kubolui, Chairman of Trade Promotion Board of LCCI, and my dear friend, DG of LCCI, Dr. Olomona. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends, good afternoon. I'm Yan Yuqing, General Counsel of the People's Republic of China in Lagos. I'm so proud that I'm the first female General Counsel of China in Lagos. And I have very nice Nigerian name, 3. So you can call me Ayo. You can call me Uchi. And you can call me Fatima. Thank you. I know, it's a very good meaning. So, yeah. So I'm delighted to attend the 2023 Lagos International Trade Fair and also 2023 China-Nigeria Industry Capacity Cooperation Exhibition and engage in discussion on production capacity cooperation topics. On behalf of the Chinese Consulate General in Lagos, I would like to extend a warm welcome to the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, the China Chamber of International Commerce, Jiangsu United Asia International Exhibition Corporation Ltd. Limited, and the Chinese enterprises participating in the exhibition. I also want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our Nigeria friends for your attendance at this event. So you know, this year marks the 10th anniversary of Chinese President Xi Jinping's proposal to build a community with a shared future for mankind, and the principles guiding China's Africa policy, including sincerity, real results, amity, good faith, and the Belt and Road Initiative. In August, the 15th BRICS Summit was held in South Africa. China has launched the initiative on supporting Africa's industrialization, plan for China supporting Africa's agricultural modernization, and plan for China-Africa cooperation on talent development, focusing on areas urgently needed for Africa modernization. In October, the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation was held in Beijing. China signed a series of cooperation documents with more than 150 countries and over 30 international organizations. A large number of infrastructure projects and projects benefiting the people will be implemented gradually. Due to the principles guiding China's Africa policy, including sincerity, real results, amity, and good faith, and pursuing the greater good and shared interests, China-Nigeria relations are steadily advancing, with deepening cooperation in trade, investment, and contracted projects. Both sides can fully leverage their unique strengths, achieve complementary advantages, and enjoy mutual benefits and win-win cooperation. Nigeria is the largest developing country in Africa, with a vast market size and abundant natural resources. Its population is young, labor costs are advantageous, and it ranks high in oil and natural gas reserves. The country has a diverse range of mineral resources, vast and fertile lands suitable for cultivating various agricultural products, a strategic geographic location, and significant transportation advantages. Lagos is the largest port city in West Africa. These unique and natural endowments provide a solid foundation for Nigeria's economic development. This year, Nigeria President Bola Tinubu raised the Renewed Hope Policy Initiative with a focus on the development of industries vital to the well-being of its people. Sectors such as agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and services hold immense potential for growth. The most completed industrial chain in the world gives China the capability to independently produce and manufacture everything from primary products to high-end finished goods. In recent years, China has demonstrated strong technical and innovative strength in many high-tech fields such as 5G, AI, and new energy. New industries, new business forms, and new models are yielding new economic growth. The Belt and Road Initiative proposed by China, with its focus on building closer economic and trade ties, has effectively promoted global production capacity cooperation. China's huge foreign exchange reserves have also provided solid financial support for overseas projects, and its large number of technical talents have also laid a solid foundation for bilateral economic and trade cooperation. Nigeria has become China's second largest trade partner in Africa, the biggest contractor market, and a major investment destination in Africa. In the first 3 quarters of this year, bilateral trade between China and Nigeria stood at $17.25 billion, with exports to Nigeria at $15.67 billion and imports from Nigeria at $1.58 billion, marking a 20.5% increase in imports from Nigeria compared to the same period last year. China's investments in Nigeria are primarily concentrated in the manufacturing sector, with a focus on steel, automobiles, machinery, economics, and daily necessaries. Investments in the Lekki Free Trade Zone and the Aogong Guangdong Free Trade Zone have exceeded $1 billion. Chinese companies have a large number of contracted engineering projects, such as the Lekki Deep Sea Port, the Dangote Refinery, the Lagos Blue Line Light Rail, the Lagos International Airport, and the Lagos Ibadan Railway, and so on. These projects and investments have greatly promoted social and economic development in Nigeria and made a significant contribution to deepening bilateral economic and trade cooperation. Only through green development can we achieve genuine win-win cooperation and bring more benefits to future generations. China has always been committed to the path of green development. China has made a solemn pledge to the world to peak its carbon emissions and achieve carbon neutrality. This means that China aims to achieve its carbon reduction goals in the shortest time in global history. China topped the world in terms of various indicators of green development. For instance, it led the world in the utilization of renewable energy, the output and the sales of new energy vehicles, and the speed of air quality improvement. It is also home to the largest area of Afforestation in the world with the biggest increase in forest resources. Emerging industries with low energy consumption and high added value are continually emerging, thus speeding up China's economic development. This also offers abundant possibilities for China-Nigeria cooperation in the field of low carbon and sustainable development, providing the world with a Chinese solution for green growth. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, nothing, not even mountains or oceans, can separate people with shared goals and vision. The 6th China International Import-Expo is currently being held in Shanghai. China is actively working to transform its vast domestic market into a market that the world can share, providing new opportunities for the world through China's new development initiatives. Today, we gather here with the shared goal of seeking development, promoting cooperation, and pursuing mutual benefits, elevating and ensuring the long-term stability of the China-Nigeria strategic partnership is our joint wish and responsibility. So in conclusion, I wish the 2023 Lagos International Free Trade Fair and the 2023 China-Nigeria Industry Capacity Cooperation Exhibition great success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Ms. Yan Ayo Uche Fatima Yuchin. I was wondering why you chose Ms. Yuchin. Your Excellency, ma, I was wondering why you chose Uche and not Chinyere. You're a very good friend. But with that as it may, while the president of SCCI was delivering his address of welcome, his deputy, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, FCA, walked in. You're welcome, sir. And while Her Excellency, the Consul General of the People's Republic of China, was delivering her opening address, His Excellency, the Consul General of the South African High Commission, Professor Bobby J. Morrow, also walked in. Prof, you're welcome, sir. So we are blessed with the presence of high-ranking diplomats this afternoon. But right now, I'd like to invite to address us Mr. Liu Yan, the Deputy Director General of the China Council for Promotion of International Trade, China Chamber of International Commerce Representative Office in South Africa. Little wonder the South African Consul General is here. You're welcome, Mr. Liu Yan. Yan Liu, sorry.
Anyway, thank you, Program Director. Thank you, Program Director. First of all, please allow me, using the Chinese, to introduce our distinguished Chinese guys here. First, thank you. 尊敬的中华人民共和国驻拉各斯总领事严雨清女士，非常感谢您今天来这里参加这个开幕式。尊敬的贸促会河南分会秘书长孔金明先生，感谢。尊敬的贸促会浙江分会何蓉蓉女士，感谢。尊敬的江苏联亚国际展览公司，倪立群总经理哪里了？好像，谢谢。各位远道而来的参加 这次展览会的中国展览公司的代表，谢谢你们远道而来参加这个展览会。Okay, now please, now back to the English. Thank you. Distinguished Ms. Yan Yuqing, the Consul General of Chinese Consul General in Lagos. Distinguished Dr. Michael Owali, I don't know if the pronunciation is right or not. Thank you. Distinguished Mr. Olusola Abudimu, Director General of the Association for Commerce Industry, Mining and Agriculture Chamber of Nigeria. I don't know if it's here or not. Okay. The Honorable Ms. Neki Arkendi, former Minister and Industry and former President of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Thank you. Another two, yeah. Distinguished Dr. Chen Yi Omona, somewhere here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Distinguished Ingi Lai Kaba Louis. Thank you, sir. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. In China, Africa, Nigeria Production Capacity Cooperation Brand exhibition is part of our trade fair, today's trade fair. Also was launched this morning at Exhibition Center. On behalf of the CCPIT South Africa office and the Chinese exhibition delegation, I would like to extend my warm welcome and heartfelt thanks to all the guests here to attending the Chinese-Nigeria Production Capacity Cooperation Trade Promotion Forums here. Our exhibition was invited by Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, sponsored by China Council for the Promotion of International Trade. And this exhibition is a major event of economic and trade between China and Nigeria this year. China and Nigeria are the largest country in Asia and Africa continent. Two countries have long maintained a sincere friendship and a fruitful cooperation in politics, economics, trade, culture. In recent years, the economic and trade relations between two countries have developed rapidly, and the production capacity cooperation between China and Nigeria is highly consistent with the development strategies of industrialization and economic diversification of Nigeria. In 2021, China-Nigeria economic and trade cooperation has developed to a higher quality, with the bilateral trade value reaching the $25.68 billion, increased more than 33% over 2020. Nigeria remains China's largest product contracting market, second large export market, third large trading partners, and major investment destinations in Africa. China-Nigeria relationship are their best in the history. Between China and Nigeria make the interpreter of the two countries full of confidence in the sound progresses of bilateral economic and trade relations. The China Council Promotion of International Trade has long been committed to promoting economic and trade cooperation and exchange between China and other countries in the world, and has maintained a friendly exchange with the Lagos Chamber of Commerce Industry and another Nigeria Business Association. We warmly welcome Nigerian business people and to participate in our exhibition, and hope that this event can provide a platform for the cooperation exchange of need to ensure that both sides and also hope exhibition will further strengthen the economic and trade exchange and cooperation between two countries, and enhance of a long-term friendship and common progresses of two countries' people. I wish all the guests here have achievement from these forms, and welcome you to visiting China Pavilion. I thank you. Thank you, Program Director. Thank you,
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, what he said in Chinese is that he's wishing all of you very well. He just said, good evening, everybody. I wish you well. That's all. That's what he said in Chinese. Next to speak to us, probably also in Chinese, is the address by Mr. Kong Jimin, Secretary General of the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, in and Sub-Council. Feel free to speak Chinese too. I will interpret to them.
尊敬的严宇清总领事，尊敬的刘岩总代，赖克阿坎德肯女士，迈克尔奥拉瓦勒库先生，奥卢瑟拉奥贝库拉先生。
Dear Consular General Yan Yuqing, Deputy Director General Liu Yan, LCCI President Michael Olawale Ko, Ms. Nikki Akande CON, and Mr. Olusula Abadimu. Ladies and gentlemen, friends.
很荣幸出席今天的活动，与大家相聚于此，共同交流。我谨代表荷兰省贸促会，预祝2023年中非尼日利亚产能合作论坛圆满成功。
It is my great honor to attend these events today, and it will have effective communication with each other when we gather here. On behalf of CCPIT Henan Sub-Chancellor, I wish the 2023 China-African-Nigerian Production Capacity Cooperation Forum a complete success.
荷兰在中国的中部，历史悠久，文化灿烂，是中华文明之源。山川秀美，物产丰饶，是中国农产品主产区和重要的矿产来源大省。区位优越，交通发达，是承东启西、连南贯北的重要交通枢纽，发展稳健，态势良好，是中国经济大省、人口大省、农业大省、新兴工业大省，经济总量稳居中国第5位。
Henan is located in the central part of China, with a long history and a splendid culture. It is the source of Chinese civilization. Henan has beautiful mountains and rivers and abundant natural resources. and is a major agricultural product producing area and an important mineral resources province in China. Henan is an important transportation hub connecting the east to the west and the south to the north. With steadily developments and maintained a good momentum, Henan is Chinese largest province in terms of economy, population, agriculture, and emerging industries, which rank 5th of economic aggregates in China.
河南省与尼日利亚经贸往来密切。截至2022年末，尼日利亚在河南设立外资企业4家，实际使用外资3234万美元。荷兰对尼日利亚对外直接投资存量为2.2亿美元。2022年，荷兰省对尼日利亚进出口40.5亿元，其中出口39.9亿元，进口0.6亿元。2023年1至8月，荷兰对尼日利亚进出口26.7亿元，其中出口26.4亿元，进口0.3亿元。
Henan province has close economy and trade exchanges with Nigeria. By the end of 2022, Nigeria has established 4 foreign invested enterprises in Henan, with an actual use of foreign capital of $32.34 million. The stock of foreign direct investment from Henan to Nigeria was $220 million. In 2022, the imports and export of Henan province to Nigeria reached 4.05 billion yuan, of which exports were 3.99 billion yuan and imports were 60 million yuan. From January to August 2023, Henan import and export to Nigeria was 2.67 billion yuan, of which exports were 2.64 billion yuan and imports were 30 million yuan.
女士们、先生们，当前河南省正锚定2个确保，深入实施10大战略，处于蓄势崛起、攻坚转型的关键阶段。河南省贸促会持续发挥桥梁纽带作用，联通政企，融通内外，畅通供需，为促进国内外企业开展经贸交流搭建平台。
Ladies and gentlemen, Henan province is currently anchoring the 2 guarantees and implementing the 10 major strategies in depth, and it is at a critical stage of gaining momentum and transforming. CCPIT Henan Sub-Council continues to play a role as a bridge and link, connecting governments and enterprises, integrating internal and external sources, and unblocking supply and demand, in order to build a platform to promoting economic and trade exchange between domestic and foreign enterprises.
各位朋友，参加展会、对接洽谈是发现贸易商机、寻找合作伙伴的重要方式。尼日利亚11月份属于春季，按照中国习俗，春季是播种的季节。预祝各位参展企业在中国出口商品西非展览会及第17届 拉各斯国际贸易展览会上播撒出合作的种子，找到更多的贸易伙伴。再次祝贺2023年中非尼日利亚产能合作论坛圆满成功。
It is my great honor to attend these events today, and it will have effective communication with each other when we gather here. On behalf of CCPIT Henan Sub-Chancellor, I wish the 2023 China-African-Nigerian Production Capacity Cooperation Forum on complete success.
在此也向各位发出邀请，河南是中华民族的重要发祥地，行走河南，读懂中国。欢迎各位到河南考察访问，感受天地之中深厚底蕴，体会中原大地的勃勃生机。
Henan Province is an important birthplace of Chinese nation. Because of working in Henan and understanding China, I extend an invitation to everyone. Welcome to inspect and visit Henan. Feel profound heritage of heaven and earth, and experience the vigorous vitality of the Central Plains.
祝大家身体健康，事业兴旺。
I wish you all good health and prosperity career.
谢谢大家。
Thank you all.
Say Hada. Thank you. By the time you leave this space, I'll make sure that you all understand Chinese. Kontiko, the next speaker is also going to speak Chinese. But don't be afraid. Just as the last speaker spoke Chinese and it was interpreted to us, the next speaker is permitted to also speak Chinese. And that is Ms. Heron, who is the Deputy Director of Division of Trade Promotion of the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade. This is Zhejiang, this is Zhejiang Provincial, right?
Zhejiang
Provincial.
Thank you, everyone. 尊敬的严宇清总领事、刘岩副总代、孔金明秘书长，尊敬的尼克阿坎德女士、迈克尔奥拉瓦勒库主席、奥卢索拉奥巴达先生，各位嘉宾、企业家朋友们，下午好。
Dear Consular General Yan Yuqing, Deputy Director General Liu Yan, and Secretary General Kong Jingming, dear Ms. Nikki Akande and Mr. Olusola Abamide, dear Mr. CLLI President Michael Olowale Ko, dear guests and entrepreneur, good afternoon.
非常高兴能够参加本次论坛，与大家共商合作、共谋发展。在此，我谨代表浙江省贸促会对论坛的隆重开幕表示热烈的祝贺。
I'm very pleased to participate in this forum and discuss cooperation and development with everyone. On behalf of China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, Zhejiang Provincial Committee, I would like to express my warm congratulations on the successful opening of the forum.
浙江地处中国东南沿海，是典型的山水江南、鱼米之乡。浙江是经济大省，去年我们创造了7.77万亿元的 GDP， 居全国第4位。浙江是创新大省，我们正在大力实施数字经济1号发展工程，积极推进数字化改革。浙江是开放大省，我们正以“一带一路”统领新一轮对外开放。去年全省进出口总额4.68万亿元， 出口贡献率全国第一。浙江还是生态大省，山好水好空气好，是绿水青山就是金山银山理念的发源地和率先实践地。
Zhejiang Province is located on southeast coast of China and is a typical land of mountains, rivers, as well as fish and rice. Zhejiang is a major economic province. Last year, we created a GDP of 7.73 trillion RMB, ranking fourth in the country. Zhejiang is a major province of innovation. We are variously implementing the first developed project of digital economy and actively promoting digital reform. Zhejiang is a large open province. We are leading a new round of opening up with the Belt and Roads Initiative. Last year, the province's total import and export volume was 4.68 trillion yuan, and its export contribute rate ranked first in the country. Zhejiang is an ecological province with amazing mountains, clean water, and fresh air. It is the birthplace and the first place to practice the concept of lucid water and large mountain, a mountain of gold and silver.
一直以来，浙江省委省政府高度重视与非洲各国的交流合作。2010年至今，先后有40多个非洲国家和国际组织的官员到访浙江，浙江省领导也多次赴非洲考察访问。双方在经贸、人文等各方面的交流都取得了长足发展。自2019年起，浙江省连续发布了2个3年对非合作计划，围绕机制建设、产业对接、设施联通等重点领域积极深化浙非合作。今年1至7月，浙江对非洲进出口总额超过2170亿元，同比增长15.9%，居全国各省份首位。其中对尼日利亚进出口额达209亿元，在非洲各国中，尼日利亚是浙江的第2大贸易伙伴。
The Zhejiang Provincial Party Committee and governments have always attached great importance to exchange and cooperation with African countries. Since 2010, officially from more than 40 African countries and international organizations have visited Zhejiang, and the leaders of Zhejiang province have also visited Africa many times. Both sides have made significant progress in exchange in various aspects, such as economy, trade, humanity. Since 2019, Zhejiang province has issued 2 consecutive 3-year cooperation plans with Africa, actively deepening our cooperation between Zhejiang and Africa in key areas such as mechanical buildings, industry knocking, and facility connectivities. From January to July this year, the total import and export volume of Zhejiang to Africa exceeds 217 billion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 15.9%, ranking first among all provinces in China, with imports and exports to Nigeria reaching 20.9 billion yuan. Among African countries, Nigeria is Zhejiang's second largest trading partner.
朋友们，今年是习近平主席提出“一带一路”倡议10周年，浙江是共建“一带一路”的重要枢纽。尼日利亚于2019年正式加入“一带一路”大家庭。作为专职从事国际贸易投资促进工作的机构，浙江省贸促会愿与尼日利亚的相关机构一起加强交流，共同努力。 助推浙江省与尼日利亚在制造业、数字经济、新能源等领域深入合作，共同构建低碳可持续的浙非发展模式。
This year marks the 10th anniversary of President Xi Jinping Belt and Roads policy. Zhejiang is an important hub for joining building the Belt and Road. Nigeria also officially joined the Belt and Road family in 2019. As an institution dedicated to promoting international trade and investment, is willing to strengthen exchange and working together with relative institutions in Nigeria to promote in-depth cooperation between Zhejiang province and Nigeria in the field of manufacturing, digital economy, new energy, and joining building a low-carbon and sustainable development model for China and Africa.
最后，祝本次论坛圆满成功，祝企业家们收获满满，祝各位嘉宾身体健康，事业顺利。谢谢大家。
Finally, I wish this forum to complete success. I wish the exhibitors a fruitful harvest. I wish all the guests good health and success in their career. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. I hope you all enjoyed our speech. A very nice presentation. Before I call on the guest of honor, let us quickly acknowledge the presence of Mr. Sunday Bankole, Chairman, Orile Building Expanded Market. Mr. Bankole, you're welcome, sir. We appreciate your presence. We have Chief Ejike, Chairman, Electrical Association, Alaba. Chief Ejike, you are highly acknowledged. We thank you. Chief Leo, Chairman, Aspanda Stakeholders Committee. We thank you very much for being part of this ceremony. Chief Obiora, Chairman, Mainland Spare Parts and Machinery Dealers Association of Nigeria. We thank you for being here. And Alhaji Shaun Razak, the representative of Ogun State Zone. Thank you very much for being here. As I said, we are going to have a very wonderful time today, but let me quickly call on the special guest of honor, two-time former Minister of Industry of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, past President of Lagos Chamber of Commerce, Group Chairman, Imagine Africa Group. I was very well enlightened today, Olori Nike Akode, CON.
Thank you very much. MC, I've known you for many years, and you are always erudite speaker. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, somebody whispered to me, a lot of people have been recognized. Just say that you stand on the existing protocol. But permit me to recognize our dear President, the President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Asiwaju Dr. Olawale Cole, CON, our efficient, hardworking, result-oriented President. Well done. His deputy, my dear brother, incoming, Mr. Gabriel Indahosa, FCA. We have a lot of vice presidents here. Just permit me to say vice president, honorary life presidents of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Consul General of the People's Republic of China in Lagos, Mrs. Yan Eugene alias Ayo. And through you, I recognize the very many distinguished and accomplished members from the Chinese embassy. The Consul General of South Africa, DG of NASIMA, Mr. Olushola Obadimu, DG of IOD, Mr. Dele Alimi and wife, DG of LCCI, Dr. Chiyere Almona, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to join you all here this afternoon at this important symposium where I believe we will explore further opportunities to deepen the relationship between two great countries of the world, Nigeria and China. Thank you. I thank the organizers for inviting me to attend, and most importantly, to be the special guest of honor. As a two-time Minister of Industry of our great nation, Nigeria, the issues for discourse this afternoon are of great importance to me, and I believe that all players in the private sectors of the Nigerian economy and well-meaning Nigerians should pay more than a passing interest in this matter. There is no doubt that Nigeria and China have a robust diplomatic relationship. The same can be said of the trade relationship between our two countries. I therefore appreciate this effort aimed at deepening this relationship and make it more mutually beneficial. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no gainsaying that there is a big gap between Nigeria and China when we consider industrialization and industrial capacity. Industrialization is the key to economic development, employment generation, and poverty alleviation. China is way ahead of Nigeria, and Nigeria has been an export destination for Chinese businesses. As a nation that is trying to take the right steps to move from consumption to production, we have quite a lot to learn from China on this journey. The symposium is therefore coming at a perfect time. China should help and support Nigeria in its quest for industrialization by deliberately putting in place measures that will aid the Nigerian government and the people to improve their production capacity. In fact, manufacturers in China should consider moving their factories to produce in Nigeria and provide jobs for our teeming population and improve our economy. I must, however, confess that this symposium can be an eye-opener to many opportunities that Nigeria as a country can avail itself as we commence this journey of rebirth and development. The array of speakers and discussants gathered here this afternoon gives the confidence that we will have a robust discussion and engagement. I therefore implore you all to listen attentively and participate actively. I wish you all a useful deliberations, and thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Ma. I'm really flabbergasted and overgasted. Thank you, Ma. Olori Onikepo Akonde, CON. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to let you know that we have a symposium, and very soon I'll be handing over to my colleague and brother, David Ubabudike, the business editor of Silverbird Television, who will take over from here. But before then, please, let's have those on the front row come forward to the stage now for a group photograph. After that, the Consul General and the SCCI President will go to the Chinese pavilion. But please, we will remain here, especially for the symposium and the keynote address to be delivered by the DG Nasima. Please, those who have been designated to provide chairs on the table for the panel of discussants should please get ready, so that while the DG Nasima is delivering his keynote address, David, who is going to be the anchor, will do the needful. Please be careful with your personal belongings. Be careful with your phones. David, over to you now.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sirs. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dawsa. Thank you. Thank you. Can we put our hands together for them as they walk down? Can we put our hands together for them? Madam, thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done, sir. Well done. Mr. President, sir. Very well, thank you, sir. All right, thank you very much. I hope we are getting enough information this beautiful day. Yes, I think the Consul General would be leaving with a few of the entourage right about now, but the event still continues. We are having a symposium right about now. So if you think you've gotten enough information, you have not seen anything yet, we are having a panel session which will be very informative for you this evening. Once again, a very big welcome to all of you. Can we just put our hands together as the Consul makes his way out? Can we put our hands together for them as they make their way out? All right. So we are shifting gears right about now. The event is not over yet. The event is not over yet. We are shifting gears right about now. We'll be having a keynote speaker come talk to us on a very important subject matter this afternoon. If you wouldn't mind, put your hands together as I make welcome to the podium for the keynote address, Mr. Yusuf Samson Wole Oyedemi, who's representing Mr. Shola Obadimu. He is the MD CEO of REM Team Associates Limited. Let's put our hands together as he comes give us the keynote speech. Can we put our hands together, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Point of correction, Samson Wole Oyedemi, no Yusuf.
Oh yes, Samson Wole Oyedemi. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep. Let me stand on existing protocol. I'm making this keynote address on behalf of the Director General, Nigeria Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mines and Agriculture, in person of Mr. Olushola Obadimu, who is unavoidably absent today. The theme of today's symposium is enhancing economic growth through sustainable partnership, which resonate. It is very apt to the situation that the Nigerian economy is going through at the moment. If you look very closely, you'll discover that essentially in modern economic thinking, there is a limitation to which government can be a catalyst of economic growth and development. Essentially, the drivers of economic growth and development are being discovered to be the private sector. And that is the more reason why this gathering is very, very crucial in addressing some of the inherent challenges we are facing as a country. It is important to say that for us to foster an enduring, sustainable partnership, there are essential elements that needs to be in place for a partnership to be enduring and sustainable over long period of time. To build a sustainable partnership, first, it is important that we have to share a common vision and values. It is important for us to share common vision and values. Apart from this, it is also important for us to have a clear and mutual understanding of what we plan to achieve.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. There seems to be too much distraction. Please, can we calm down with the noise and the conversations behind, please? If there are issues, can we solve them outside? Can we discuss them outside, please? There's a keynote speech going on right about now. Please, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you.
Like I was saying before the interjection, I said for sustainable partnership to be established, it is important for us to have shared and common vision and values. Apart from this, it is also important to have a clear and mutual understanding of what we plan to achieve through the partnership we are trying to foster. Why do we want to also, there is need for us to also justify, why do we need to partner? Then lastly, we need to also determine from the very onset, how do we measure the gains or impact of this partnership? These are critical elements that need to be addressed before, fostering or going into any sustainable partnership. Also, it is important for us to take cognizance of the fact that when we talk about sustainable partnership, it is not a short-term phenomenon. we are looking at situation, a medium to long-term issue. If we foster a relationship and we do not get the benefit in the short run, that does not presuppose that the relationship is not in the best interest of the country or those entering into such partnership. For you to be in a position to determine whether a relationship, a sustaining partnership is beneficial or not, it has to be within the medium, long-term period, so that you'll be in a position to really determine, assess, evaluate, and come to a conclusion to say this relationship or this partnership has been of tremendous benefit to stakeholders. Shared benefit. It is also important to mention that there are benefits associated to sustainable partnership. One contentious issue has to do with the appropriation of the benefits. How do we appropriate the benefits among the participating or the partners? In this wise, there is no scientific basis or scientific way of measuring the benefit that is accruable to partnership. But what can be really stated is that both or all the participating partners must not be worse off on account of this partnership. It is also important to mention that when we go into partnership, sustainable partnership, there are risks embedded in such association. So both the risk as well as the benefit must be shared amongst the partners. It is important for us to get this straight. We should not be delusion that there won't be some inherent risk associated with partnership. There are, but both the benefits as well as the risk must be appropriated or must be allocated accordingly. It is also important that partnership must be built on trust. I was really impressed when the consular made mention that one of the sterling attributes of the Chinese business people is the fact that they are honest and transparent in their dealings. So for any partnership to succeed, there has to be honesty, there has to be transparency, there has to be equity. Then there is also need for a clear governance framework. The whole essence of the governance framework is to be able to guide participants that are members of this partnership so that people will not, derail from the tenets of the partnership. These are critical elements that needs to be in place for any sustainable partnership to endure. Otherwise, we stand to witness a partnership that may not last or for a very long period of time. It is also important to share some of the statistics concerning the trade relation between China and Nigeria. Interestingly, some of the Chinese representatives who had earlier spoken actually reeled out some of the statistics, though stated in yuan. But for this purpose, what I intend to doing, between 1995 to year 2021, which is a period of 26 years, Nigerian exports to China grew from $51 million in 1996 to $3.05 billion in 2021. On an annualized basis, this represents 17%. Conversely, China's exports to Nigeria within the same time horizon grew from $151 million in 1996 to $21.9 billion in 2021, which also represents an annual growth rate of 21%. In essence, what the inference we can make, or the deduction we can make from these statistics, is that there is an upsurge in the trading relationship between Nigeria and China within this period of 26 years. The whole essence of our gathering here is to take this to the next level. We are here to explore opportunities, identify opportunities of, increasing the volume of trade between the partners, between Nigeria and China. So it is also important that we address some of the critical challenges that is militating against free flow of trade relation between the two countries. Let me also say that in terms of investment and finance, there has been a remarkable improvement in the trade relationship between China and Nigeria. As at March 2020, China loans to Nigeria stood at $3.121 billion, which represents 11.28% of Nigeria's external debt. That tells you how important China is to Nigerian economy. This statistic is just meant to reinforce the fact that most of us are aware that there has been a remarkable improvement in transactions between China and Nigeria. What are the economic advantages of sustainable partnership? There are partnerships that sometimes are destructive. But in this context, the statistics have shown over the period that we have been mentioning that there has been an improvement both to Nigeria as well as China in terms of volume of transactions traded. One, what do we consider to be some of the advantages? One, it creates a vast market. It creates a vast market for both trading partners. What do I mean? In terms of population size, China is above 1 billion. Nigeria is tending towards 250 million. So if you look at it, for Chinese entities, Nigeria offers a good market, a veritable market for Chinese products. Same goes with China. If you are expected to, export agricultural produce to cater for the needs of over 1 billion people, you know how massive that is. So it's a win-win situation for both businesses in China as well as businesses in Nigeria, because you have a large pool of markets. It is also important to mention, it is not even the size of the population alone that matters. The economic well-being of that population is also of importance. It is one thing for you to have the population. It is another thing for you to have the purchasing power. The purchasing power to drive purchases. So we need also to be mindful of that. Secondly, there is in our elementary economics, they said competition breeds what? Efficiency. Apart from efficiency, it also brings in technical know-how along with it that are lacking in both countries. So a sustainable partnership will also drive a knowledge-based economy. It will drive or infuse a knowledge-based economy. An economy that is driven competitively based on superior knowledge. What you are bringing to bear. The competitive advantage you have garnered over the years on account of doing certain things over the years. It also introduces best practices. Opportunity for you to, adopt some of the best practices, which ordinarily you may not be exposed to, if not for the sustainable partnership. So it's a mutual gain between or amongst all participants, all the participating entities. Profitability, because once there is efficiency, you will be able to cut down on your losses. You will be smart at doing what you are doing, and spend lesser time doing more. As you do this, you are also enhancing the level of profitability. Because the partnership will ensure that non-value adding activities are eliminated from your production activities. Non-value adding activities are eliminated. It also assists in creation of jobs. Sustainable partnership is also a veritable avenue through which you can create additional jobs. Because the partnership will bring about creation of new business entities. And these entities will require manpower to run, to carry out their day-to-day activities. Apart from increasing the wealth, you are also generating employment, depopulating the unemployed army. It is important to also share this thought with you. There is something I would like us to ponder on. In year 2006, the former president of China, in person of Hu Jintao, visited Nigeria. And a remark that was made by the former president of Nigeria then, General Olusegun Obasanjo, is still relevant today. It is quite unfortunate that most of the Chinese representatives are not on ground. I would have wanted them to listen to this. I want to quote what General Obasanjo, his remark. He said, "From our assessment, this century is the century for China to lead the world. We want to be close behind you when you are going to the moon. We don't want to be left behind." It's very instructive. It's a remark that would have pricked the conscience of the business people from China. Because it's been often said that technological transfer is a big challenge. For some of the business entities of the developed world, I don't want to limit it to China. Others, Britain, US, Germany, they find it difficult to transfer technology. Or they find it reluctant to transfer technology. But if we must grow as a nation, as business people, there is need for them to also expose us to some of their technology to drive our own domestic economies. Then, what are the recommendations? There is need to further develop effective regulatory frameworks that incentivize sustainable practices. You see, sometimes I feel reluctant when too many regulations. The global practice now is self-regulating, not regulation. It's self-regulating. So, government will be there to create enabling environment, not regulation. Because too much regulation stifles businesses. So you should encourage business entities to self-regulate themselves. Two, creating enabling environment for businesses to thrive. What are some of these enabling things that will create enabling? regular electricity supply is key. Basic infrastructure, good motorable roads, industrial parks. These are incentives because if government do not provide these amenities, it increases overhead cost of businesses. 3, government should create awareness and educate stakeholders, which is exactly some of what we are doing now can be likened to creating awareness. So government should encourage entities to do more of this. Stakeholders should demand sustainable partnership and public support. These are critical issues that needs to be addressed for us to be able to create a sustainable partnership. On that note, I say thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Sampson. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Highly appreciated. Let's put our hands together again for Mr. Sampson. I know the hall is a little bit scanty, but for me, I think this is the most important part of this event. It is knowledge sharing, it is informative, and it is what you need if you understand why we are here. The China-Nigerian partnership is one that we cannot treat with kid gloves. It's about the biggest economy in the world right now, and we are nowhere. All right, so we will be interrogating the paper of Mr. Sampson via a panel session. We'll be as quick, as swift as we can and pass all the information that you need to know about. Just in case you have a question or two for Mr. Sampson, there will be an opportunity for you to ask him 1 or 2 questions. You never could tell. He just might have the answers for you going forward. All right, so do me the honors. Let me invite our panelists. Let's do justice to the paper this evening. First on my list is Mrs. Olubumi Osuntuyi, SecGen, International Chamber of Commerce, Nigeria. Please do put your hands together to welcome her to the podium. I know you can do better than that. We've been served food, yes. We've had some food, yes, so we have some energy right about now. Please also make welcome Dr. Chinyere Almona, the DG, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please put your hands together for her once again. Yes, we should do the extreme so we could have some gender. Doctor, you stay here. Thank you very much. Dr. Chinyere, you stay right here. And so finally would be the male amongst them, architect Zakaridin Oladotu. Is the technical director, ZGM, a group of companies. Let's put our hands together. Thank you so very much, architect. So good to have you. Yes, the extreme, yeah, in between the women. Fantastic. Okay, so we have just 2 mics to share amongst ourselves. We'll try and be as swift as we can in this conversation. So much has been said by the speaker. Fantastic conversation. When we look at the relationship, the trade relationship between Nigeria and China, it's one that we cannot toy with. The volume is large in all spheres. So he has said so much, so we don't have to say all he has said. Let's just look for something else that he didn't say, which for me will be the important part of this conversation. For you, Dr. Almona, what is the most important thing that you think we have enjoyed? Now, very key for me is the fact that when we talk about the word sustainable partnership, that's the key word in this conversation, sustainable partnership. It's one thing to have partnerships that you cannot sustain. It could last 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, but we're talking about how we can attain and achieve sustainable partnership with China. Dr. Almona, you have been in this business for a long time. What do you think is the missing link for us as a country? Why we haven't been able to harness the full potential of this partnership with China?
Thank you very much. And thanks to the keynote presenter. That was a very, in fact, very passionate presentation. So thank you very much, sir. So he has said a lot. And when you think about what makes for a sustainable partnership, he mentioned trust. Trust is important. There's also a need to articulate the mutual benefit. It has to be beneficial for both parties for it to be sustainable. So for us, what I think is really missing, one of the things, there are so many things, but one of the things I see that we need to perhaps improve upon is skills transfer. A lot of times we have the Chinese come, do work, create all these great outcomes, but they haven't transferred skills. They go away and either nobody can maintain the facilities or infrastructure, or we can't replicate it. So that's a big part of what I think is missing. I don't know if trust is at the base of that inability to actually intentionally transfer skills.
Thank you so very much, Doctor. Let's get a perspective to this, architect. Fundamentals for this trust. What could be the fundamentals for a sustainable partnership? She talked about trust. What more could be the fundamentals here?
Well, I believe the Nigerian government has a very big role to play in this area because, as she has rightly said, the issue of skill sets and technology transfer is very, very important. But I don't think that can be left in the hand of the Chinese and the Chinese investors alone. We also have to do a lot in trying to improve probably our educational curriculum in a way to promote vocational skill sets. All those skill sets that are actually required for economic development, that is required in infrastructural development, that is required for the growth of industries. Because, the real sector is quite important to Nigerian economy. Yeah. Honestly, very, very important. And if you don't have those skill sets, those manpower that can actually drive that sector of the economy, it will be extremely difficult. I watched a kind of interactive section with Tim Cook, that's the head of Apple, and I think during the interaction he was asked why they make their phone in China, and somebody was just saying maybe because of cheap labor. And the guy said, what do you mean by cheap labor? Labor are no longer cheap in China. What they have available are those manpower. He made an example that if you call a conference of toolkit engineers in the United States, they will hardly fill the hall where they were having that interactive section. But he said if you call such a conference in China, you need 60 there to accommodate that number of people. So Nigeria has a lot to learn from China in probably designing our educational program to promote vocational and technical skill sets that is actually required to drive that industrialization and the manufacturing sector.
Thank you so very much, architect. Let's put our hands together for that response. Yes, Madam Olubunmi, I think this whole conversation around sustainable partnership is premised on what part of the divide you come from. Are you advantaged or disadvantaged? And that's also very key. How do you think we as a country, as investors in Nigeria, can position ourselves to be at a place of advantage to benefit from this sustainable partnership that we're talking about?
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for this wonderful platform. I personally feel that when it comes to trade, they say, is the lifeblood of every economy. For every trading economy, the role of government cannot be overemphasized. And the enabling environment must be created. It's just like somebody going into the ring, a boxing ring, and one is full kitted, and one is coming without no kit at all. I mean, even before the fight starts, you know that that person that is not kitted is going to lose outrightly. So for us to have a sustainable partnership and interaction with other countries, not only China, but we're not talking about China because of the circumstance right now. We need the backing of a government that is strong, that is focused, that has a sense of direction. There must be a policy, a government policy when it comes to international trade. China is where it is now because they have the backing of their government. There is a policy that they are following and they are following it through. There's nowhere you see a Chinese person. The person may have been seconded from their country, but they are carrying out the policy of the government that has sent them to that particular country. So in terms of us operating at par or operating in a very competitive environment, we need government to be involved in this conversation. We need government to even position itself and let people know that this is where we are going to in terms of trading. A time there was when people look at Chinese goods as inferior goods. But over the years, their economy has showed that they are not out for inferior things. They have advanced, technology-wise. They are advanced in various platforms. And if someone has the capacity, there's nothing you have to do but to embrace that capacity, to befriend that capacity for your own ultimate advantage. So as an economy in Nigeria, I think there's a lot for us to benefit from China-Nigeria relationship. And this type of platform should be sustained. Like the DG said, I was hoping that the team will be present, but I believe that the recordings of this session and the paper that had been succinctly presented will be forwarded to the team so that they can begin to look into the relationship between China and Nigeria for the benefit of both countries. Those are my thoughts now.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I think that is very apt. I saw you raising your hands, Mr. Sampson, but we'll come to you in a bit. Let's try and see how we can exhaust our conversation here. Then we'll call you to wrap it up for us. Now, I'm looking at the room and I see people that are interested in this conversation. I'm a lot more concerned about how they can cash into a sustainable partnership, maybe with China investors, not necessarily with the China government, but with China investors, because I think that would impact them more right now. So how do you think individuals here, investors here, can cash into this conversation?
Okay, well, in my own opinion, I think Nigerian entrepreneur at this point in our economic development should be more interested in manufacturing, honestly. I know there are quite a number of traders that are here that will be willing to go to China to pick some of their commodities, come back here and sell. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it's a kind of a short-term thing. We should be looking for a way for us to be able to produce some of these items, especially those ones that will have the raw materials here, honestly. The paper presenter said something about the purchasing power of average Nigerians. If this negative trade balance continues like this, the purchasing power of average Nigerians will go down to the extent that it wouldn't make any sense for even China to do business with Nigeria again. So it is quite important for us to start looking inward, to start looking on how we can improve on the value chain of some of those sectors that we currently have now. Our firm, ZGM Investment Group of Companies, is the coordinating firm for Ogun-Guandong Free Trade Zone. And we have more than 70 Chinese enterprises within the zone that are doing quite good. We have 3 companies that are producing diapers, and their combined capacity on daily basis is about 1.5 million units of diapers per day. So what it means is that it is extremely difficult for people to go outside Nigeria to go and import diaper from anywhere in the world and be selling here because the raw materials are actually available here. In the same vein, we have Goodwill Ceramics that makes tiles within the zone, making about 120,000 square meters of tiles on daily basis, the largest in West Africa. The same thing with China Glass. I'm seeing a lot of Chinese enterprises coming here to establish. What I want to see is Nigerians partnering with Chinese investors and setting up manufacturing companies in Nigeria. It will be a long time, it will be profitable for both parties in that way, rather than we going to China and pick every commodities down here to Nigeria for consumption.
Fantastic. I think that is very, very apt at this point in time. But the next question now for them would be, how do they hook up with these Chinese firms for such partnership? Dr. Almona, tell us exactly what you think chambers of commerce can also do to enhance this conversation. You relate with other international chambers, I want to believe. Are you having such conversations around how you can be the link between Nigerian investors or Nigerian businessmen and the Chinese counterparts for sustainable partnership?
Thank you very much. And the short answer is yes. The chamber is a platform where we exchange trade ideas, but also expose our members to opportunities outside the country. Sometimes we organize trade missions, outbound trade missions, and encourage inbound trade missions. These trade missions are designed in such a way that businesses can engage with businesses and understand, what opportunities exist on this side and what opportunities exist on the Nigerian side, so that businessmen from China can take advantage of it. Interestingly, just as we are seeking for opportunities for investment in China, they are also looking this way and seeing how can we invest, how can we engage with the business people here to establish something. So it's important for us as businessmen and women to have an open mind toward establishing, like the architect said, it's important for us to begin to establish here, because then we can create jobs and we can improve our purchasing power and our economy as a whole. So while trading alone is great, it has carried us so far, we need to get to the point of manufacturing. And the Chinese are willing to invest. Now it's up to us still to then say, if the Chinese want to come here and establish, am I willing to go through the ropes and understand the skills required to manufacture A or B? Or do we want them to always ship in Chinese people to come and work within their factories? So we have to be intentional about acquiring those skills so that we can replicate at the end of the day, and we can do so much more because we have the economic power in terms of numbers. So anything that is consumer based will have the numbers, and we can break even at a very short time. So Nigerians need to begin to invest. Even if you go overseas, you want to import something, also be interested to know how is it manufactured and what can you bring home. I also think that in addition to that, the chamber also supports businesses to build capacity in terms of understanding what the rules and regulations will be. Because sometimes I've seen exporters who are, they get the goods right, but then by the time it's time to export, you realize that it's not the right specifications. So one needs to understand what are the specifications. You need to understand what the regulatory environment is on the other side, what the regulatory environment is at the border, and what you need to do. So the chamber provides that support and information base for those who are doing business.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chinyere. I think she deserves a round of applause for that response. Coasting home to, I think, the International Chamber of Commerce, Chamber of Commerce Nigeria, I'm sure you could also be a plug for such interventions.
Oh, certainly. I want to, again, congratulate LCCI for, creating this platform. Platforms like this should be replicated in all the states of the Federation. And it should also be a desk, like she said, a desk that can, respond to the queries or inquiries when it comes to issues like this. Time has gone past that you just go on trade mission just for going sake. The cost of travel now is now so expensive that you have to sit down and actually look at it.
Count the costs.
What am I going there to do? What am I going to bring back into this country? And as it has been advocated, I cannot but endorse that advocacy that we should go beyond trade and also begin to look at manufacturing, because in the long run, it will benefit all. The organization I represent, International Chamber of Commerce, exists in over 170 countries all over the world. LCCI is a member, NASIMA is a member, Ogunsima is a member, Abuja Chamber is a member. They have these world chambers congresses that they do, and they even have a platform where they can network with each other. So interrelationship amongst those chambers can continue. The foreign that is required, we will export and we'll be able to bring in resources into the country. And so I want to encourage a number of us that are listening to diversify. We are not saying that you have to entirely leave your area of business now. You may want to look at the area of diversification, maybe into manufacturing, maybe into going into other type of partnership that will bring in more opportunities. We don't need to concentrate that their focus is on wheel alignment. Some will be doing windscreen. Yes. Some may be. There are a lot of things that people can go into. If I look at the number of years that some people have been in some areas of industries, they need to go beyond that.
All right. All right. Thank you.
And be able to put it on board. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Let's put our hands together for all our panelists. I did say you can ask a question or two, so let's accommodate one or two questions. Do you have anyone with a question for the panelists or for the keynote speaker? Ushers, please. Please take the mic. Yes, a raise of hand. Let's see. One. Any other question? Two. And that's it. Please, let's know who you're directing your question to, and let's meet you first.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The panelists, the DG of LCCI, and all the distinguished participants here this afternoon. Mine is more of addition to what has been said than a question. The theme of the symposium is growing a sustainable partnership. Partnership between who and who. That is the first observation, or the first thing I want to talk about. I want a situation where SCCI and the likes will first have sector-based partners engagement, whereby issues affecting or discouraging or...
Please put the mic to your mouth, sir. Just put your mic close to your mouth so we can hear you.
My company name is Rush. My company name is Rush African Wear. I'm from Ghana, and I brought a lot from you guys here in Nigeria. I have local bead, Ghana wares, and our slippers is on the way coming, and this kente fabric.
Interference.
All right,
I apologize, please. Yes.
Like I was saying, that I would suggest Lagos DG, ICCI, look into the possibility of raising tank thinkers who will do a reasoning and studies, and also I hand it over to you so that we don't always depend on from China or whatever US to right. You, to yours in Lagos here, without a proper understanding of so many things.
Right.
We are groups. We actually mirror the economy. So all the sectors within the economy will have groups. And the idea of having those groups will be that businesses within a particular sector can have conversations that concern them. And when we are thinking of advocacy, because we're the voice of the organized private sector, we are constantly engaging government. We're going to engage government not on a general basis, but on specific sector issues. Because the people within that sector, they are in a group and they are actively engaging one another. When they speak about the issues that affect them, then we can take that to government, we can take that to the regulators and engage. So, sir, you need to become active in the sectorial groups because that's the place where these issues are built up, are grown. At the chamber, we don't think that we know everything. It is the business owners who will tell us these are the issues. It is the business owners that will tell us this port reform is affecting us poorly. We need to change it. In fact, they're the ones who will make the recommendations that we will take on board. So these sectoral groups work also to build capacity because sometimes you have businesses within a sector and they can learn from each other. They can exchange ideas. They can partner within themselves. So these sectoral groups are so critical in the things that we do at the sector. So please take advantage of it. And yes, the think tank you talk about, it happens at the sector level as well. Because they are the ones who are going to be thinking, how do we change the narrative for our sector? How do we improve within our sector? How do we have that agenda? You're right, the Chinese will come with their agenda, but we Nigerians will have to come with our agenda as well. We can't sit around and say, oh, they have come with their agenda, and then we don't do anything. Which is why I keep using the word being intentional. Here in Nigeria, business people have to be intentional about what they want. Therefore, when the Chinese show up with their agenda, we are showing up with our own agenda. And then we're going to have a partnership that will be mutually beneficial to both sides. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, DG. Can we put our hands together for our panelists? Thank you so very much, DG. Thank you so very much. Thank you, DG. Thank you, architect. Thank you for your time. Thank you. It's been wonderful. Yes. Okay, group photograph. Yes, please join Mr. Sampson. Thank you. I think once again they all deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just before you go, I think there is a token of appreciation that the organizers want to give to the moderator, the speaker. Please, Mr. Adam, please come. Sorry to bother you. Please come up. There's a token of appreciation that we want to give in no special order, as the name is. Please, can you just bring them up? Just bring them up. Thank you. Just bring them up. We need to do it quickly so that people can still go into the exhibition halls. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Egmo. Okay. This is for architect Zakiruddin Oladoto. My apologies, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Oh, you want us to do it here? Okay. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Mrs. Olubumi Oshutuyi, thank you very much, ma. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I want to invite the MD of the company to do the next few. Now, on behalf of Mr. Olushola Obadimu, the keynote speaker, we thank you for coming. And of course, for our host and our panelists, the DG of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This was also presented by Chief Mrs. Dele Alimi. Please. Thank you very much, ma, for coming. You didn't hug the other people. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you all. I told one of the people in the panel, somebody said, we have always been talking. I said, that was what I also felt before. But somebody told me, he said, let us continue talking. At one point, somebody will listen. never get tired of, let us not get tired of saying what we feel about how to develop this country. I thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We still have one of the chairmen of our invited association, and we want to honor him. We want to ask him to please come and help us present this award. So just to appreciate their presence all the way from Alaba. We thank the association. I want to invite the president, Chief Camillus Amusoye. Please, if I don't get the name right, don't mind me, please. I'm just one bloody Yoruba boy. I will call the name the Yoruba way. So please come forward and present to our wonderful moderator for the wonderful job he has done here today. Mr. David Ubabudike, please come here. Oh, you thought we would forget you? Please come here. Chief Amusoye is the president of HEMAC. Thank you very much, sir. Please let us present this to our moderator.
My name is Chief Kamines Namde Amajoy. I'm the president of Alaba International Market.
Thank you very much. Who else can do it better, please? Thank you, sir. Yes. We particularly appreciate Alaba International Market. We know the trouble you went through on the way. We are sorry, but you know, this is our country. We just have to manage it. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Despite that delay, you still made it here. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your members. We look forward to more partnership. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will continue to talk. We believe that someday somebody will listen. And I'm seeing things changing. People are listening. It may not be as fast as we want it to be, but it's definitely good. When I heard yes, that apart from what government is doing, we have private individuals that are now setting up industrial clusters, and people are coming in. Things are changing. Please, it is not competition. We want you to replicate what you are doing. Let other people learn from you. Let's go into all parts of Nigeria and become productive. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you a very wonderful evening. Thank you.